No.
So, as you've returned to the house, Vasily carrying the unconscious Sarah inside, Septimus, Sherrison, embracing Rika as they return. Saban, you take one look at them as they stand in a doorway of the light. And then of the bodies around you, you still have something to do. And with that, with your boots echoing down the road, which is now empty, you make your way to the main place.
As a reminder, Saban went in to get a dagger.
A dagger, okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any weapons.
Correct. All your weapons are currently still within the guard's house.
Yeah.
You would only like a dagger, nothing more.
I don't think I have anything else in the house. I don't want to take the big ass axe.
Okay. In that case, dagger in hand, or storing it wherever you decide. You don't really have a hilt, do you?
No, not really. I mean, dagger is easy, just put on the belt.
Okay. Dagger stashed in your belt. You make your way to the main plaza. The main plaza is an absolute mess. And the buildings surrounding it seem to be standing tall and empty. The plaza itself, rubble everywhere. Some people lying on the floor, similar than you have seen on the roads. Someone moving. And the rubble of where once the brilliant festivities were taking place, where joy and entertainment happened. You see most of the stands destroyed, thrown over. Some of the food on the ground, the stage exploded, pieces of wood scattered all around, fire damage. It's an absolute mess. But to your surprise, it's entirely empty. Before there was many guards that scattered around here, looking and searching, but you suppose perhaps it's already quite late now, and they've returned. As such, the stage is set, it is empty, and your work is cut out for you. Just like back then when you were an investigator. What would you like to do, Saban?
Where was the last place that Vasily saw them?
The last place where you've seen the twins that aren't actually twins, why are we calling them that?
Not sure.
Was near an alley leading towards the Grey Raven. And as you make your way there, once again the destruction all around you sends reminders through you. And you spot also a stand that perhaps we have seen even a glimpse of previously. A pie stand. Sends some shivers down your spine. It too is abandoned and destroyed. As you make your way to the alley, to no surprise, you find that the kids are not there. Perhaps in some relief, you also find that the bodies nearby are not theirs. If you would like to seek any clues or hints, you can roll me an investigation.
Alright.
Oh dear.
Indeed. 7.
Yes. As you look around, there aren't any immediate hints as to where they could have disappeared. But as you walk around, you try to recollect what exactly happened when you were there. Because amongst the chaos, it is hard to make any immediate clues to find anything of use. It's just way too much. So instead, you try to focus inward. Try to remember what happened. And as you think about it, you remember that when it happened, the people all started running. They all started disappearing. As such, from the position you're currently on, assuming that they haven't died, and you have nothing to believe that they've died, the corpses around here don't seem like theirs. There are a few that are charred by the fire, but they are not childlike. This means that from the position where you've last seen them, they must have either been pushed by the masses down this road, if you can see in the map, down this road towards east, up the road to the guard's house, or inward towards the Grey Raven Inn. But that would eventually also lead back up top. What's your passive perception?
Passive is 14.
Unfortunately, it is quite dark. There's only few traces of the moonlight illuminating your surroundings. As such, that also makes it quite harder to find anything of use. However, the good news is that this problem in vision does not impair your hearing. As you look at the possible routes that they could have ended up down, you hear a shuffling amongst the darkness in the wreckage.
Would warily take some steps to get closer.
Alright. Do you let your presence known, or would you like to sneak?
I think I would try to sneak.
Very well.
At least to try and get a view in before I let them know.
Give me an attempt of stealth.
11.
The bad news is that, well, the ground is extremely dark, and there's so much crap lying all about that it's hard to try and sidestep it, especially since you cannot see it. So as you try and take steps closer to round it and try and see what's there, you do step on some of the wooden wreckage of what used to be the stage. Under your boots, it makes noise. The noise behind the wreckage stops. The shuffling, the scuttling. What do you do?
You have my hands outside of the cave visible, and we'll slow down, softly say that, yes, just to help.
Coming in?
Just to help.
From the wreckage, you see emerge a humanoid figure. It's too dark to very clearly say, especially because they're standing in the shadow. They're wearing a cloak, and although dark, you can see some patches on the cloak as they stand up, not to their full height, but enough to look over in your direction. I don't want no trouble. I'm just looking around.
That we seem to have the same. No trouble either. Just looking for something.
Looking for something. The man seems to be taking a few steps away from the wreckage, making rounds around it to try and get a better look at you. And as he does step further into the light. And you recognize this man. Or at least there's a faint familiarity about him. Roll me an intelligence to see if you can recall where you've met this man before.
Right. 12.
There's a faint familiarity. Perhaps you'll recall if you interact further with this man. For now, it's just a thought in the back of your head. He looks rather rugged and rough. A man that has clearly, well, not spent his time in luxury. Then again, who here in Vallaki can say they have? But this man looks even worse than that. Perhaps more like the people in Barovia that you've seen. People that have had a hard time. So, what are you looking for? At this time of hour, no honest citizen is about.
Does that apply to yourself?
Depends on who's asking. You. There's something about you. You're not a god, are you?
Nope. Don't need to worry about that. I have, people I were with. They didn't come back to where we were, so I came back to look for them.
Ah. Unfortunate. But if they're not dead, I'm afraid you won't find them. It's very unlikely. He seems to be looking around, very clearly trying to spot something in the wreckage, but after glancing in the different directions, he gives up and looks back at you.
Well, haven't come across them yet, so I can only be hopeful.
Say, you wouldn't happen to have some change, would you?
Depends how much. Don't have much coin.
That's alright. You realize that the man is particularly glancing at any of the dead humanoid figures lying on the ground. It's starting to dawn on you what this man is doing.
It kind of dawned on me when I first saw the guy walking about, but yeah. Though, sure you'd have better luck with what you were doing before.
Not gonna be any good to them, is it?
Not necessarily. As they can get identified and have family, I guess could be of some help to them.
Yeah, well, I also have family to think about.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not gonna be above it. There's been times when I've also had to resort to things.
Well, you don't exactly look like you have to. I mean, no offense, but you look well dressed enough. At this point, he doesn't seem to have any shame anymore to continue doing what he did in front of you, as he simply walks over to a nearby body and knees down to it, rummaging through its pockets.
Well, I've been around a bit and a little bit more. A lot of stuff can fit into those years. Didn't happen to see any people lurking about that didn't exactly know where to go.
What do you mean, Vallaki in general, or?
In this area, I mean, have to be careful not to be seen.
Well, I mean, you know, are you talking people like me, or?
No, these are much shorter, as he holds his hand at a certain height, proximate to the kids.
You're looking for children? Here? Why would a child be here?
We're here during the festival.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but they probably went away by now.
They did. Just wondering if you wanna earn some change.
At this point,
Show them in a direction.
it's at this point that you have his attention as he stops rummaging and stands up to his full height, which is surprisingly not that far off from your own, as he seems to turn completely towards you. Who are you looking for exactly?
I'm not gonna ask too much about what you're doing here. Not gonna tell about it. And for you, should be enough that it's a couple of kids.
A couple of kids. I mean, anything particular about these kids? Because there's been multiple kids at the festival.
These ones may have seemed a bit lost. Not just panicking lost, but just lost overall. With hauntingly empty faces.
Ah, those kind. I've also seen more of those, to be honest. So, anything particular about the ones you were talking about?
Well, any
are we
clues a
talking?
start? Like I said, couple, he holds 2 fingers up. And about this height. I last saw them once to the alley.
Alley. Wait. That alley. Okay, I do remember there being a couple of kids just really weirdly just standing around not doing anything. That was weird. Right. You want to find them, is that it?
I would.
See, the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you. Pains me to say, but I'm starting to get to that age where sometimes memory fades a little, and
I mean, I already talked about that. Should get some medicine for it as he tosses over 2 gold coins, actually.
oh, okay. So as you toss them over, he sort of, he catches them, and then doesn't. He takes like a double back. What, gold? he holds them up into the moonlight and goes,
What can I say? Some of these are wealthy. Points to their bodies around.
He also stares at the bodies now. I guess you were here before me already, getting all the good stuff. Okay, well, I've seen them. Hang on a second. Well, I'm not sure how much help I can be, because you probably already know that, but I think they went up that way. I think they got pushed with the masses that way, but you probably already knew that. I think you're the father or something, right? So you were probably with them, I think.
Kind of like an uncle to them.
Well, all I know is that they got, basically, I saw them disappear up that road.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll be heading up there. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck with the...
Yeah. But I've never met
Don't
you.
get caught. Yeah?
I can talk myself out of trouble. You doubt it. And with that, you make your way up the road.
Spawn will actually go through here.
Alright. As you do, you find this road seems to have definitely, the alleys seem definitely to have been less traveled. As you can see, only a couple of bodies, very few, lying on the street. In fact, as you approach the Grey Raven and exit, you see no bodies at all.
Would like to actually stop by the Grey Raven.
Alright, you stop by the Grey Raven. And as you do, you enter it, I'm assuming?
Yes.
As you enter the door to the Grey Raven, you can see why you have not seen any bodies there. Because as you enter, you see many people in the Grey Raven, many hurt, sitting on the tables, having been taken care of, with people running around, rushing around. You can see the bartender of the Grey Raven rushing around, trying to help people, serving drinks behind the bar. Are more people helping out, and it's bustling, and there's a very melancholic tone going on. But it seems people are trying to make the best of things here. Let's take a moment here and return to Rika and Septimus. So, as you have returned, you've had some time to actually go in and get yourself settled, speak with the others before saying goodbye to Saban. And with that, you're left to yourself. Vasily went upstairs and immediately put Sarah into a bed, before he then once again returned to you guys. Very clearly, completely shaken up, immediately putting up a bottle and filling 3 glasses. Then immediately downing 2 of those.
He knows he needs to babysit, right? That was not the time to get crunk.
Take it up with him. Are you saying this in character?
If I see him doing it, absolutely.
He's shakingly putting the 3rd glass up to his mouth. What do you say?
Vasily, I need you on your toes right now.
Yes, of course. It's just... Yes! Puts glass down. It's just a little bit. It's not that... it's not like it's going to... It's not... It's just a little bit. To calm my nerves.
Taking 2 of those. If they haven't calmed after 30 minutes, you should take the 3rd one, but you shouldn't look to a bottle for a solution.
Yes. Don't give me all of that. I know my limits. This has simply shoot me up is all.
Everyone's been shaking
Speaking
up,
of which,
right?
would you like a glass?
Yes.
He just puts the 3rd he had in hand and just sort of pushes it over the table to your side.
Sherrison is going to shotgun it.
Okay. It's not particularly... I'm not going to make you roll a constitution save. You down it. As the burning sensation of the alcohol goes down your throat, you feel an inner surge of warmth inside your chest. And you feel color return to your cold face as you've returned from the outside.
That's good.
Rika, do you also want one?
No, thank you.
All right.
So, dear, what's the plan?
Well, it's to find the dear captain. All right, so I suppose we could start the guard house, see if they're there.
All right. How are you feeling? If things turn ugly, will you be all right?
Oh, I should be all right, as long as we don't get into too much of an altercation.
All right. I don't have my shield with me. Vasily, do you have any shields here that I can borrow?
Afraid not, no. I don't really keep weapons or ornaments around here in the house.
Okay. Well, I'll try my best to protect you. And while they're gonna
Ah,
be
shit, my
walking-
rapier! Fuck! Ah, it was silver too.
We're going
We'll
to
get your things. We'll get your things. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, silly. We're gonna find our stuff. We're getting all of them back.
Okay, but if somebody asks, the silver rapier is not mine. You know what I mean, right?
It's ours. We
Yeah.
we have the permission to carry such weapons.
Little rascal. Alright. Lead the way, we're gonna...
Yep.
With that,
I know the way.
and with that, the two of you start heading towards the guard's house. Is it to be assumed that you also take the way of the main plaza?
Main plaza. I mean, okay. Isn't it like easier to actually know? The question is, like, is this technically easier? But 30. It's about the same, so yeah.
As you go over to the plaza, you see the same destruction I've described. It's the barn, and it seems empty. This hits you much different than it does the barn, because this is the place where you shared your first kiss. This is the place where you danced with each other. Now to see it like this, it just feels like it feels wrong. It feels hard to imagine that just a few hours ago, oh, this is where you danced. Broken pieces and thrown over stands. But you have other things to do. As such, you push on. It doesn't take long as you travel over the main road for you to see the guard's house. And in it, well, it's precisely as Septimus, you recall leaving it. After all, that was only a few minutes ago. Now you're back here. You wonder if it is a wise decision to return so soon after all this, but, well, you're not here for yourself, are you?
No.
And so the two of you step up to the guards. They eye you suspiciously. What do you say?
Hello.
That's enough. That's enough. Just the moment you go, they step aside or reach out.
Fuck's sake.
Thank you, gentlemen. Rico, walk in.
I follow her with an expression, with a normal expression, but on the inside, I'm very impressed. Like, wow.
Later,
That GF is a big fucking deal around these parts.
later on, Rika needs to write a book, How to Intimidate People.
Intimidation 101.
And with that, you get into the main room where the secretary sits behind a pult and seems to be writing some notes down. As you enter, she looks up and greets you. Oh, hello. How can I help you?
Yes. Data you. Would the captain be in residence at the moment?
Oh, no, I'm afraid he's not.
Would you know where
he's
he's
just a few moments ago. She looks at Sherrison.
Oh yes, this is my my significant other.
If it's about the weapons, I have not had time to give him the memo yet. He has not returned since then.
Okay, great. Would you know where the captain would be at the moment? Is there any particular?
I'm afraid that's not information that I can share with a citizen. Is there any particular reason, anything you need from him?
He specifically said, well, before all this happened, that we had to talk. And it would be fairly urgent.
I'm afraid to say that with the current things that have all been transpiring, I think now is probably not a good time to try and get a talk with him.
Do you know where his office is?
Oh, yes, I do. She looks at you quizzically.
Well, I can wait outside his office until he comes back.
Oh,
That's not a problem.
well, I don't know when he will return, but if it's no problem, sure, you can wait in his office. I believe you are Eureka Saki, yes?
Yes.
Yes, he did want to talk with you. So, but I don't know when he'll return.
That's fine.
But yeah, if you'd like, you can. Yeah, I'll bring you to his office.
Thank you very much.
She stands up from a pot and takes a chain of keys that jingle as she picks them up. And she leads you on. As she does, you can see once again onto the main plaza where there was training grounds, and just you can look all around you. And as you do, Septimus, it's like, Sherrison, man, this is gonna take some used to. It seems like there's even less guards than there were when you broke out. Like, this place is practically empty. As she continues to lead the way, you go up a flight of stairs to the side to an important looking door, which she stands in front of, turns the lock, and opens the door into what appears to be a very respectable looking office. It reminds you in many ways of the Burgomaster's office, only that it's much smaller in scope. But nonetheless, in a way that makes it look even more professional, more pragmatic. You can see the signs of a man that clearly only focuses on what must be done and not much else. There's no schnick-schnack, there's no needless shelves with books to make people think that you're much smarter than you actually are. No, it's a fine desk with a couple of papers on it, a ink bottle, a feather, and a couple of other MacGuffins for daily desk work. Otherwise, then there's also a small shelf with different keepsakes, it appears. There's even a skull there with a bit of a candle on top. Rika, you recognize this. This is definitely something you've seen before. You feel like you're in the right place. And also there is a small sort of table with a chessboard prepped out on it and different figurines already set in place. She figures for you to enter. If you want, you can take a few seats. There are indeed 2 chairs. Specifically, only 2 chairs in front. Well, there's 1 chair, of course, where the big man himself sits, and 2 in front. If you would like, can I bring you anything? Refreshment or something like that?
No, thank you. I think we'll be fine.
As I said, I don't know how long it's going to be, so I hope you're not going to mind.
No, I didn't expect you to know when he'd come back.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And with that, I'll leave the door open. That's no problem.
No, that's fine.
She takes the keys and leaves. You can hear the sound of her footsteps echo through the hall, just once again reiterating how empty the guard's house is today. And with that,
I'm gonna close the door.
you wait a couple of steps for her to get a bit further away and to very silently close the door, and then return to Sherrison.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to do other than wait?
I'm kind of following Rika's lead at the moment, so I think I would, I would be keeping an ear out in case someone was approaching, or, I would like to look outside the window. What's going on outside?
This is a very, very well stationed side of the building. From this side of the building, when you look out the window, you can oversee all of the training grounds. And the window itself is full body. So standing in front of it, you can just look down on all of the training grounds and see everything very particularly. You feel like the man that normally stands here likes to have this sort of control over seeing the people under him. And you can see why. In fact, this feels more and more like something that your father would probably do or set up in the way that you handle your guards, in fact. But right now, as you look down onto the training yard that's only illuminated by the shallow moonlight, there's no one there. You can only see the shadows of the testing dummies lined out on the floor. There's a couple.
Is the big man?
Yeah.
Is the big man's chair twisted? Can it turn? Or is it just a chair?
It is a normal chair, however, it is much more fancy than the one his guests get, as it seems to have some sort of polster in the back and everything. It seems much more comfortable than normal chairs.
I'll turn it around so that the back's to the door.
I see. I see you're already setting up something here.
Rika, I'm not questioning you, but I just want to ask, why do you insist on seeing the captain so much?
Well, I have recently come to the realization that Captain CoS may in fact have some relation to my friend, Vani Kusk. So, it just,
just completely flew by me. Remember when I told you that I could tell that the captain wasn't actually a man, but a woman? Do you think it could be Varney herself? Why would she hide from you, though?
It is a distinct possibility, and remember that one time I threw a fireball in the middle of the street, and we met the captain on the way back? Did tell me that I shouldn't disrespect her in front of her men, but that she would like to talk to me in private. So it's a distinct possibility that Vani definitely knew, and I just was very dense.
I'm not sure that it is Varney, though, because the doll maker did say that someone's been making, dropping off blueprints to make the Rika dolls. Wouldn't a doll maker recognize the captain?
Could be paying someone else to do it. Could be going in disguise. There are possibilities. It is not difficult to learn a spell like disguise self, especially for if that person is a wizard or a sorcerer or a warlock of some kind.
I see. Listen, if we come across someone named Siegfried, please don't waste magic on him.
I don't really have like any magic that can be wasted, so that's not going to be a problem.
All right. Would you need me to step out of the room so you can have a conversation in private? I don't mind.
I don't know. Well, I would like you here.
All right. Okay, Rika's gonna... No, Sherson's gonna take a seat.
Rika sitting in the big man's chair.
Sherson's gonna cross her arms and say, I feel like I'm in trouble.
Do you recall, I need to quickly ask you, Leah, do you recall the code name of your brother that you found out?
Argov.
Okay, very good.
I recall everything, Daniel. I keep notes of everything.
Yes, I was checking your notes and I didn't see it there, that's why I wanted to check with you.
I haven't updated them in a while, unfortunately, but they're all written down.
Okay, just checking. Not that one time there's gonna be a big revelation, and then in the same way as Rika, Urkov. Well, that sounds like an interesting name. Anyway, moving on.
Fuck's sake, no.
Anyway.
That's not very bad. I know I'm a dumbass.
I know I'm a dumbass. You're not supposed to make fun of me of that.
You don't have to keep rubbing it in.
We're cutting back to none other than Savannah. Because that's going to take a while what you guys are doing. So, you stand there in this very, very filled tavern. People lying on tables, some people running around very clearly hurt, eating soup, trying to regain their strength. And amidst of all this chaos, there is children running around, trying to play tag amongst all of this. In general, while what you see here is terrible, you see the image of recovery. What would you like to do?
See this image of...
Pardon?
See this image of... I didn't hear.
You see recovery. You see how everyone here is working together to try and help others out. The barkeeper you've been talking about, which you've never asked for a name, I can't believe that still, is running around like crazy trying to serve people while...
I'm half certain she didn't want to say her name.
Really?
Listen, I know her name. It's Kant.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, moving on. You know, I feel like she would say something very similar about the man named Septimus.
I could say something very misogynistic right now, but I'm just gonna keep it to my goddamn self.
You do that. Right, moving right on. But yeah, you can see her basically running around helping people out. And behind the bar, you see another woman that you've only seen once before, which you also know is tending staff here. Yeah.
The one that ran away when we came with those questions?
Yes, that one. To be fair,
well,
right now she also seems like she's having a nervous breakdown.
Fuck that bitch.
That's not the one you encountered. That's a completely other person. Jesus.
Fuck everyone who works at that godforsaken club.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm getting called.
Alright.
As
Bond would like to try and get a moment with the bartender he has talked with a little.
Okay, well, she is currently not attending the bar. Instead, she is running around, basically putting food to everyone, also putting first aid kits around the room, basically going like, we need a bandage over here. And she runs around. As she's running around, she holds for a moment as she recognizes him and goes, Sorry. We're currently not really in business. You can see we're...
Ain't a drink I'm after.
Sorry?
Ain't a drink I'm after.
You want what?
I don't want a drink.
You're not... Okay, you don't want... Okay, that's good. She doesn't stop. She keeps running. She turns around whenever you talk.
Yeah.
Well, what is it that you need? She wraps up a bandage.
Some help with regarding this.
Yeah, help. That's what we're doing. But, we got our hands full. So, I'm not sure what you need specifically.
I'm missing 2 people.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be a very common thing. I've heard that more than once today. Mm-hmm. You're missing 2 people. What now?
No. Saban waits as she comes to his position again and just says, 2 kids, about this tall, holds his hand.
Okay. Yeah. She keeps on running around, explaining. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I've seen a couple of. You gotta be more specific. Like those are 2 kids there. She points at 2 other kids who are about the size that you described, but clearly not the kids you're looking for.
No. Well, they're the type that don't really show an emotion outside.
Yeah, I've seen those as well. Look, I'm really busy here. If you're looking for people, because I've spent my entire day here. So unless for some reason your kids are alcoholics, I don't know why I would have seen them. Maybe you've got a better time talking with some of the other people around here. I'm a little busy right now. Okay?
Just making sure nobody came in with them because they were pulled with the crowd towards the guardhouse.
I think in that case you should probably go to your guards about kidnapping. But if you don't see
in the
me,
crowd. But yeah, not bothering more than that. If you do get 2 kids like that, go by Hans and Gretel.
Right, Hans and Gretel. Reckline.
Yeah.
Gonna shout it at every 2 kids I see. Hey you, are you Hans and Gretel? What? Yeah.
If you have time, I can give a better description, but I want to let you get back to yours.
Yeah, as I said, like, if you want, maybe someone else knows something. I'm a bit busy. I've been the whole day in here, so I'm sorry, I probably can't help you.
It's fine.
She seems
It's
a little on edge.
Yeah. Spawn will say that just in case they get brought in here, I'm gonna come and check in later. Right now, I'm gonna go back out to look for them.
Okay, you do that.
See you.
She doesn't say goodbye. What a cunt.
Yeah. Yeah, Spawn will head outside and go back to the... close to the street.
Can you... Are you Hansel and Gretel? Stop shouting at the children. You're back on the street. Would you like to continue upwards then, following the last lead that you have from the...
Yes.
Okay. So as you emerge from the alleyways, you continue going up. As you do pass by the guard's house, you notice that for some reason the guards standing in front seem a little bit more stressed than usual. Anyway, as you pass them by, you move up the street, and as you pass, how would you like to? Let's say you're down here. What's the plan? Because that's basically the last position you know. Nobody went into this direction. How are you approaching this? What are you doing? I'm also going to tell you this because you're not blind, despite the fact that it's quite dark. You can see the movements of guards further down the road, particularly in front of the Veche de Manon. But to be honest, this is no surprise. You've already been made aware that the guards have been blocking most of the main roads, which presumably also includes the northern one.
Yeah. Do I see any people out in any of the streets or anywhere?
Looking for more shady characters, are you? Roll me a...
Shady or just people licking their wounds?
In that case, you can roll me a perception check with disadvantage if you would like to rely on sight. Or you can roll me a general charisma roll to see where you would perhaps try and hide out. Try and see if you can get into the inside. That's probably much better.
Inside is wisdom, though.
Well, fuck that then. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do either perception or wisdom. Inside.
All right.
Whichever. I guess inside is technically what more, because Saban is thinking,
Yeah.
if they got carried with the crowd, where would they have been carried to? They don't really seem like they could move on their own. So, inside.
Yes.
Disadvantage or normal?
If you want to really figure out like where could they have gone, you can also go with investigation. Both would be normal.
Alright, I'm gonna try with inside. Basically, I'm trying to see it more from the people's perspective instead of the kids.
Like the mass panicking. What direction?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
19.
That's a pretty good roll. So you've got particular insight into this because you've also been part of the crowd earlier today. And because of that, you have also recollected some of the parts that happened when you were pulled along. And what immediately becomes clear to you, this section here is where the wave should have lost some of its strength. Which means that if they continued being pulled this way, there could have been a chance that anywhere along this road, they might have at some point been able to break free into an alleyway or something. Otherwise, most likely what happens is that the way the people continue going, but the further they got to the outskirts of town, they must have weakened. Because already at that point, as you recall, when you exited here, the roads were blocked to prevent any exit to the city. Which means if they continue going up, eventually, presumably there would have also been a blockade here and they would have had to disperse. So chances are there's somewhere around this area where they've ended up. If they have not been able to break away, it's more likely they ended up in the former area here.
Yeah.
That is how you suspect this.
Right, I will act on those suspicions. Start heading up a little. When I get close to Vector House, Mr. Barn is gonna look over if he sees the captain. But otherwise, mostly gonna ignore the guards.
Okay, so you're just going to walk by the Vestra house and just gonna have a casual glance over to see if you can see him, is that it? Or...
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like you're walking and going, "Hey, CoS, where you at?" Okay.
No, just looking over if I see him like in the yard or anything.
Let's see. As you pass by and, take a glance at Vesta Manor and just in general, you can see that the whole house is lit up. Not on fire, but there's clearly activity inside the house. You can see that in front, in the yard, there's a couple of just stuff lying around, a couple of things that have clearly been moved through the main opening doors for further investigation. You can see how a couple of guards seem to be looking and searching. You can even see the shadows of humanoids passing through the house from window to window, as there's clearly a lot of activity going on in the Vesta house currently. And as you pass, there's also two guards standing in front of the main gate, of course, standing guard. As you pass, one of them shouts out to you, "Halt! What are you doing, citizen, at this hour?"
Looking for kids that are lost in the square.
You are not at the square.
Neither is anyone else, really. Someone told me they saw them wander along with the crowd that dispersed up here.
You should go to the guard's house and give an official inquiry in missing persons. This is not a job for citizens.
To look around?
It is very late, and with all the activities that have been happening, I suggest you return home. Yeah, what he said, says the other guard. Thank you for your encouragement. Yeah.
What's your name?
Which one do you ask?
Just either one of them, really.
The first guard goes, that is none of your business. We have no need to identify. My name's Theodore. This is Audrien.
Thank you for the information. Then Zaban looks to the more serious one.
Yeah, the serious one is sort of nudging the more talkative one. Look, it's boring. It's really boring here. How close are you to them? You were walking by them, so I assume.
In wherever they would have
The
altered
more
me.
serious one steps up to you, and what are you currently wearing? Are you wearing your cloak over your head?
Not sure if I even have the cloak at the moment.
Okay, so you not have anything to conceal your face.
Yeah, no, the cloak is down.
Okay, good. In which case, he is going to sort of grab at your shirt and sort of pull it to the side. Very clearly trying to get a look at what it's under. Do you resist in any way?
Nope.
Okay. He, after doing so, he leaves it off and...
When he's doing it, Zaban will just softly say to him, I can return home, but if those kids aren't found, I will remember your name. And how you stopped my search.
if it helps you to sleep at night. He doesn't have a mark, he says to the more talkative one, and returns to his post. You should be careful. It has been said that some dangerous criminals have escaped tonight. They might be roaming free. We're suspecting that they have been involved with what happened today on the square.
Well, you sure know how to make someone feel at ease about missing children.
My job is not to put people at ease, it is to protect them.
Well, let me protect the kids.
Is that all?
That would be all, unless you object to me continuing the search.
Would you like to roll something on that?
Sure, Saban was trying for intimidation, but guess the guy didn't catch it.
No, I caught it.
Right
That's
now
why I
it is.
wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Go for intimidation then.
Yeah. Do I want to use inspiration?
Yeah, the way
I don't know the result yet.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can use
Yeah.
inspiration after the roll. That's how.
Yeah, that's why I talked up immediately. No, I'm gonna stick with 14.
The man looks at you and doesn't seem to. For a long while, no muscle in his face twitches. Stay out of trouble, citizen. And he just returns to his stiff formation, not saying anything more.
I will do my absolute best.
And, yeah. Do you continue onward, or what do you do?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you carry onward, you still have the problem. How do you want to find them? Because this is the area in which you suspect they ended up in. Now, this is going to be the difficult part. How are you going to find them? Speaking of which, there are, once again, bodies all around this area. And you have been passively always keeping a look on them, just to make sure there's not been any children among them. And so far, you've not seen anything of that either. So, how would you like to go about this? You've got a lot of options. Investigation.
Scream!
I mean, yes, that's also something you could do.
That doesn't require a check, just scream out their names.
It does not, but yes.
Valaki.
Yes. There might be other unforeseen consequences for such actions.
Yeah.
Especially since you're standing like 30 feet away from a guard.
Yeah.
And then just going around at midnight screaming, "Hands!"
Gretel. Yeah. I guess to start with, Saban will. Well, if there's no one on the main roads, he's gonna try and look around the side alleys. For starters.
Okay. Let's see.
If he sees anyone wandering about, he's gonna. He would approach them.
Okay. Roll me a d100 for chance.
$64.
Doing all of this, I'm assuming that you're also keeping an eye out, just in general, keeping your eye out for them.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That, and I don't want to get bonked on the head.
As you keep going around the streets, you see what appears to be a very slim figure among one of the alleyways. And as you approach, they seem to lean back. They're wearing a white shirt stained with several sort of confections of sort. And just in general, their clothes are very loose. It's clearly some sort of second hand. And they seem to be looking at you as you approach. Not saying anything. They're just around the corner, so they're not even that far away, but just sort of staring at you as you pass by. It's a very tall, slim man. Not as tall as you, but the fact that he's so slim just makes him look a bit taller.
Yeah. Saban would nod towards the man as a greeting.
So that makes a movement, which is not quite a nod and not really anything else. She just keeps staring at you, almost swaying from side to side. You're not certain if this man is drunk or simply falling asleep. But he's keeping his eyes very much trained on you, despite the fact that they're half closed.
Can I help you?
Nah.
Could you help me?
He leans forward, looking down the side of the road that you just came from, where there's guards and a lit up area of the vestiges. Depends on what you're looking for.
Some kids that were pulled along. The people escaping the square.
Kids. I told you not to worry about the kids. What are you doing, man?
Well, I would like to find them if I can.
I told you I'm looking after them. What are you going on about? You been drinking?
Saban takes a moment.
I'm gonna give it to
Does he slur in any manner or anything? How sober does this man seem?
Like.
Yeah. Well.
I'm going to give you this one basically for free. There's a few things here at play. First of all, I want to remind you it's quite dark. He's not slurring, but it might be possible he's confusing you with somebody else.
Yeah, that's what Saban is thinking. Like, is he confusing me for someone else, or is he just drunk?
He doesn't appear drunk. Though, once again, as I said, there's something about him, definitely. He looks like a drunkard, he almost acts like one, but when he addresses you, he doesn't sound drunk. You're not certain if this is some sort of act, or if he's just... It's confusing.
Would need to see him.
You need something else to do first. What about the others? They're counting on you. Don't worry about them. They're safe with me. We got them in a safe place.
Yeah. Still, it's new development, you could say. Need to make sure of something.
Okay, roll me a deception.
I will use inspiration.
Okay.
Oh,
Can't see his
that's just...
Can't see his exact facial expressions. He seems to stop wavering from side to side. I want to see him. I mean, you sure? Because I mean, this just seems a bit weird, you know. Seems a bit weird. But alright. You sure?
Yeah.
I need to think for a moment here. Let's hold off there for a moment. Actually, let's... Yeah, alright. Okay. I'll be careful. You haven't been as careful as you normally are. You even fucking talk with the fucking idiots there.
Well,
Losing
ignoring them
touch.
completely would have just caused them to tail me.
I guess. I mean, they did stay back. Guess he still got. Look, all right. You come with me. He mentions you to forward. But careful. They're not looking at you, are you? Are they?
Saban looks over. Then he puts on the hood, the cloak.
Okay. He leads you towards deeper into the alley. Okay. You come this way. And he goes to one thing where there's like a little hook, a trap door sort of on the side. Opens it up and figures for you to go inside. And this is where we'll stop there and return back to the other two. Now, for you two, it has been a long while. In fact, it's been probably about an hour, at which point the secretary checked back in on you. A little annoyed because you closed the door. In fact, you know, she did just bring all these snacks and biscuits, but maybe she's gonna eat her herself, you know? I mean, yeah, what the hell?
You know what I want to do? As soon as she opens the door, I imagine Sherrison is standing up. And since the lady probably thinks that Sherrison is a guy, Sherrison is going to pull away from Rika really quickly, even though they were just, I don't know, talking or whatever, and pretend to be zipping up, and then cross her arms.
Okay, when you said zipping up, I thought a different kind of zipping up. Zip. Okay, so, which makes it all the more awkward.
Yeah, but on purpose.
So, she does seem to be a little bit annoyed at you guys for, you know, closing the door. She specifically asked you to not do that. But despite everything, you know, being a good host and everything, she does set down like a bowl or like a small plate with small cookies. They're not particularly good, they're a little dry as well, but you know, it's the form that counts. And she excuses herself once again for having you to wait so long and ask you if perhaps you would, you know, rather return, maybe try tomorrow, since it is a long night, a lot has happened, and he's probably quite busy. But upon you two insisting to stay, she will once again leave. Leaving you for another hour of just waiting, but now in the company of cookies. Also, she leaves the door open again. Chris, is there anything you would like to do about that?
I would like to close the door.
You fucker! You close the door once again. Fool me once.
Fool me once, shame on
as such, you once again left
shame
alone in the room by yourselves with the cookies now. As you do, is there anything else you would like to do? What are your passive?
Actually, I'd like to go down to the secretary.
Oh, okay. So you leave Sherrison then in the room, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, Sherrison, I would like to know, what is your passive perception?
Why?
Oh, because there is an assassin right behind you. So, you know, I just want to check if you instantly die or not. No biggie.
My passive perception
that's true.
is 81.
The biggest double bluff ever. I'll get back to you. So, Rika, as you exit the office, do you leave the door open on your way out?
Yes.
Okay, wow. So, you go downstairs, you know the way to the secretary. And what would you like to ask her? As you go there, she is once again, just seems to be very in-depth, has a little booklet open with several different things sticking out on top, which she is very intently writing.
Morning. Would you know if the location of the captain's private residence?
As you approach, she immediately streaks up after some surprise that you're in, and she goes, she claps with her book closed and puts it in front of her very neatly. Sorry, what?
The captain's private residence.
The what?
The captain's private residence.
I
The captain, do you know the would you have the location?
That.
Oh, come on.
No,
Please?
I can't give away the places at which the different people working here live, even if I did know, which is not to say that I do.
Come on, just a little favor. I know the captain.
I don't doubt that. However, that would be very unprofessional if I did. You must understand.
Well, I'm sure we can come to some kind of agreement.
Are you flirting with her?
Yes, I'm definitely flirting very hard with her. Listen, I want to find the fucking cat. There's a reason I left you.
Cheating harlot!
It's for information.
So as you seductively approach her,
You went!
so okay, two things. First of all, just roll me a straight up persuasion check. Persuasion is gonna be the, seduction roll today.
Oh, 23.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yes, I have a +7 to persuasion.
And
Hello.
I will put this in your hands. Roll a d100 to see if she's into it. If you roll above 50, then yes.
65.
Okay, you're lucky you found the only lesbian in town.
Yes. One lesbian or bisexual. Let's not,
Okay. So, as you start making your adventures, she very, very clearly starts blushing, and seems to be trying to gain some, some sort of like distance, as she's sort of like, trying very desperately to be like, oh no, but I couldn't. How do you push the advantage? Because you clearly got her. You know there's something you can do here. How do you push that? Because right now, all it is the insinuation. What you need is to push that into a deal.
Okay. Come on, just this little favor, and I can help you in any way you want.
You could help me, but what could you even help me with? I'm a very, very resourceful person myself, you see. I've been, stuttering.
Well, I'm sure you can think of something you might like to do.
Her head goes bright as a tomato. Well, I could swallow. She is right on the edge. She seems very clearly, but she's a shy type, very clearly. Like she's not quite there yet.
Well,
in fact, as this all is happening, she's been sort of like sorting her desk all around, like, okay, put the pen there, put the book here. No, actually, I've changed my mind, put it there, like this, just to distract her hands.
Well, considering I just got my hunting license, a little bit of magic might help. Harmless, of course.
Okay, let me think about it. Actually,
Daniel, magical fingers. She is gonna say yes.
oh Jesus Christ. We found a new usage for Mage Hand. Anyway. On this high note,
Well,
let's
it's
leave
always nice to have 3 hands to use.
it. Jesus Christ. On this high note, let's leave
There
it.
you go.
Let's have
3 hands.
let's have a small break, you guys, and we'll resolve this afterwards.